Welcome back to the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and this week we do not have our orange doggo because he has flown off. He has driven off to Furpocalypse to celebrate the early Halloween.
Oh,
So in our stead, you have your interim co-host Orion.
right. Yeah, this is me, Orion.
Yeah. Hey, at least you can fill in Orange's man's shoe. You better be a good job, filling in orange doggo shoes.
I'll be able to fill the shoes of Eva.
Okay, good. So,
Yeah.
we'll bring the rest of the panel in now. Joining us today, Beowulf.
Yes, Jackal of Shades comes back again. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying, so I'm just going to say random face words.
Of course. There's no formal introduction for, unless, of course, you're Red, whose trademark is to play an audio track.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can make stuff like that, why not?
Yeah.
Yep. We also have Malagos returning.
Hi, guys. Glad to be back again.
Likewise, as are we to have you. And last of all on the show is Inu.
Happy early Halloween.
How?
Halloween. Oh, God.
Oh.
Don't worry. This year for Halloween, I am forgiving people for their awoos. It's okay. No, there's no fine for awoos.
Okay, you got a tall job to do, Orion, because we got to start with Ratsu saying, if you don't feel an orange doggo shoes adequately, then no bun hugs for you.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, that's a challenge and a half, isn't it, though? Anyway,
it is a challenge.
To start the show off, we've got a preface because I've been asked to show off the latest and best new piece of group art that the Furry Raiders has gotten, and it's arrived in my inbox, finally, for your viewing pleasure. Here is us as a marching band.
Ooh, nice.
Oh.
I like your tail, Jolt.
It looks like it could be a tripping hazard.
Yep.
Then again, I think 3 of the tails out of that piece could be tripping hazards.
Yeah.
Is that Sage behind? Yeah, it is Sage behind, right? Behind you, Jolt.
Yeah.
It's. Yeah. As you can see, that's I have 2 drums because I
wanted the four-handed drumming action.
Yep.
So who's the one with the trumpet?
Oh, that's Blitz Bunny. Oh, that's Blitz Bunny. Yeah. And you know what though? But everything ends up. And you can imagine one of these days, on the wish list, I own my band. In suits.
That would be quite funny actually. And I can see Foxler guiding the marching band.
Who's between Talon and Orion?
Oh, that's Alon.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alon.
That's
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is First Wolf, Ellen.
And yeah, and now to finalize this, though, all credit goes to Lou for drawing this. It's been a long time coming, but you know what? Hats off to you.
Finally excellent job.
This.
Very nice drawing.
It's a pretty good art.
Bravo. So, let's begin to the main routine of the show and kind of a bit of the namesake of it all, which is a bit of trophy. If my screen share worked. Oh, for God's sake. What? Now, before I screen share this, because freaking Opera GX doesn't want to behave, the title of this is Not the Onion. Swedish newspaper laments that there aren't enough female taxidermy animals in museums.
For me,
I
natural history perspective, I can see that being a problem because it doesn't show the sexual dimorphism of different species. But from a intersectionalist point of view, I do not get it.
See,
But-
the problem they have is, most museums are filled with stuffed animals that are from hunters' collections. You don't hunt the females because if you hunt the females, then you'll have nothing to hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
You hunt the males so that you can, kill them, and then you will have, the ability to go back and there will be more of that species.
Yeah, the thing is though, the main reason why people trophy hunt is the main reason why they're allowed to do it is to keep the gene pool healthy.
Yeah, I don't agree with trophy hunting. Like, trophy hunting to me is the most despisable thing in the history of mankind. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you see, an animal that's like, hey, that would be good eating. Hey, it just so happens that it is also, it has a good antler spread or, whatever. Sure, that's okay. But if you're just going to kill an animal, oh, I just want to shoot something. Well, how about you shoot yourself in the foot first?
Yeah, it's like if it's like for example a male that's infertile or something like that, that's understandable.
Yeah, but without, you wouldn't be able to know that.
No hunter would literally, spend all that time. Okay, it's this, and tick all these specific boxes.
Yeah,
Come on,
there's
priorities, right?
They're gonna be like, hey, there's something. Bam. Oh, I just happened to kill, X, Y, or Z.
But no, if you're gonna eat it, if you're gonna put it all to good use and,
Yeah.
and waste as little as possible, because you're gonna get the meat
Like-
off of it, you're gonna get the antlers to do
The thing
something
is, though,
else.
it's
You're
like
gonna get the
that's
hide
that's
to
one of
cover
the main
yourself
reasons
with it,
why
make a blanket.
that in these resorts and these national parks in Africa, they tend to have particular seasons.
Well, yeah, they have
For
that in the U.S. too. Just there's only a certain amount of tags they sell, or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's only the amount that you can kill. But of course, there's people who poach as well, and because I want those antlers. That's all I care about is the antlers,
Yeah, poaching is bad.
specifically deer.
Yeah, the thing is, the main problem in Africa is Chinese medicine. That's one
Yeah.
of the main driving forces for the extinction of many species in Africa. Is Chinese
Right.
medicine?
So
That wonderful continent
the thing
again.
is this, it's taxidermy issue is that in Sweden, the study has over 2.5 million critters in museums. Based on their findings, the newspaper determined that this disturbing lack of female animal representation could lead to researchers having the wrong picture, quote unquote, about certain species. And they say birds have the worst gap in representation, with 60% of them being male. For mammals, 52% are male and only 48% are female. The horror!
There is such a big gap. My gosh, that's 5
Honestly,
or 10%
who
or
gives a
15.
shit?
Basically.
I don't care. People hunt animals for particular collections. They particularly go to the males because, if you keep hunting the females, that species will not be around anymore.
As long as you don't kill all the males, there will always be more of the species. If you kill all the females, well, the species ceases to exist completely, regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Because
just need.
it's the females which carry on the species.
Bloodline.
I just need
There's
to
al-
agree with the last comment when you get to it.
There's also like because in certain there's on certain hunting contests they also have like the antler contests, like who like based on the ranking system which antler looks visually the best, and therefore they also donate some of those to the museum. And guess what? Antlers are grown on males.
Yeah,
Typically males. Yeah. Just
Yeah, so
like
we-
the brain cells that it required to write this article were probably in the negative.
Yeah, with male birds, for example, it's usually the males which have the plumage to attract the female. like
And
for
what do you
example,
want? What do you want when you're making something for a collection? You want the bright one, the brightly colored one.
yeah, exactly. You want the bird which looks the most impressive and appealing. Like with like the birds of powders, for example, it's mainly the males which have the the plumage to attract the female. So hunters tend to have a bias towards the males based upon their visual appeal.
It even
Yeah.
happens in fish because just a quick example, those little Japanese fighter beta fish, whatever they're called, the males are very colorful. The females are always tiny and brown and nothing interesting
Yeah.
compared to the males.
Betas are a very good example of that because the males are going to be the ones that are the bright, colorful colors, because the females are always dull colors.
Yeah, and
I
also,
didn't even think of that as an example.
Yeah, my buddy used to raise those fish, and he used to sell them off to little local pet stores before Petco and the big places.
Mm.
But yeah,
But you
the
look at
females are
yeah.
very, very bland looking, and the males are very big and bright, and they have the extra large little fins and to attract the females, and that's just the way it works in the fish, anyways.
oh, Jolt, read the last comment.
Okay, yeah, like this one, the last tweet on this thing here. I believe, like, here's a tweet from Alexander Headbook. Researchers are drawing some hasty conclusions here. Have they ever stopped to ask how the animals identify themselves, or are they based on gender stereotypes?
Oh,
Oh,
Now
really?
we have trans rights.
Trump card.
Don't mention he who shall not be named towards these people.
Well, that's why you mention them, because then they're going to run in the opposite direction, screaming hysterically.
Whee!
You're using wrong pronouns for animals.
Yeah, there's pronouns that you must follow. You know, you got to go ask them. Go ask a lion in the wild. What's your pronoun so I can catalog you correctly before I shoot you? And when it mauls your face off, I'm just gonna laugh.
Rawr, I identify
Yeah,
as he,
one
him, they.
thing I don't get is I honestly think that if you could classify a nation as like in special education, I think Sweden would be number one. Honestly, the only good thing to come out of Sweden is probably ABBA. That's it. That's the only good thing which came out of Sweden is ABBA. And what was that? Was that a weird wedge-shaped tank that they had? That's the only other good thing.
Oh,
Volvo.
it's like the STR V70 or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Wasn't-
the only other good thing.
Like that was actually that was a very good design for what it was intended. Other than that,
Oh,
it sucks. I mean, it was intended to be something very good.
Also,
but-
that animated cartoon, I think it's called. Oh, flipping out! I forgot what it's called. It's like this weird, like in a white sort of hippopotamus-looking thing.
Wasn't there also an automobile? Volvo?
Yeah,
Oh,
that came out of Sweden, by the way.
Also, they make good almond cake.
Very
Yeah,
odd
yeah,
looking vehicular
the almond
objects.
cake is good.
Foxler?
I was going on about he who shall not be named, but the only reason why I said that is because Beowulf mentioned the term trump card. So that's what I was referring to when I say he who shall not be named towards these particular people, because they would flip out the moment you mention his name. They wouldn't be.
That's exactly why I mention it, because I have no qualms, no warrants to appease them.
Nice.
It's just a world leader who gives a shit. I don't.
People gotta pay less attention to this sort,
It's funny when you
Besides-
see people so mad about it. Just makes me smile.
Honestly, I honestly think that people just pay too much attention to politics in life.
On a side kind of note as well, though, I could literally, speaking of hunting that sort of stuff as well. Hey, wasn't there like also a little kind of story where where somebody was literally went ham because a hunter shot a deer?
Oh yeah. I actually posted that video on. I don't know if I posted that in Telegram, but I did send it to Jolt. There was a one guy who, with his kids, who approached the hunter and like said, "You made my kids cry because you killed a deer or something."
Why did you take your kids out in the woods when somebody was hunting?
No, like he was teaching the kids how that the deer hunting is wrong. That's why.
So he put his children in harm's way.
No, no. What you don't mean is that he basically like the hunter was coming back from the hunt, with the carcass and all, and he was being waited by the father and like a few kids. How they all started like saying, "Oh, you're cruel. You killed the poor deer and stuff." How would you like if we killed your dog and stuff like that?
If
Yeah,
your
but the
kids
thing
are
is,
that
though, to be
sensitive,
honest,
you
that
tell them
sounds a bit
because the deer is
staged.
sleeping.
And then his dad came and says, "You made my kids cry because you killed a deer."
No, the
The
deer
thing
was
is,
sleeping.
though, I don't think the deer would have felt anything.
Well, that's mostly the point. And hunting is when they kill the deer, they kill it in the fast, like that one shot kills them instantly. Like
Yeah.
because
Like,
if they die in agony, it spoils the meat.
yeah.
Hmm. But to get back to it too, like, can you imagine just how awkward it would be to catalog, like you said, to catalog all these animals as well? If we go the whole, let's classify them by pronoun route.
Yeah, that'll be highly difficult because sexual dimorphism differs from species to species.
No. They need an exhibit for like a taxidermy for males, a taxidermy for females, and a taxidermy for the non-binary animals that profess themselves to be non-binary.
How do you know an
Ways.
animal is non-binary?
Good question.
There are only very, very few animals in the animal kingdom that are in fact non-binary and can, change their gender at will.
I think you mean like
like a
those
sponge.
worms. Yeah, worms. Like
Yeah,
I think
people have worms who
worms
can
and
do
like
that.
lungfish are the only ones that can do it.
There's a species of fish which can do it.
Peppy the frog.
That's only under extreme circumstances.
Yeah, that's like if there's a whole host of circumstances, but
The thing is, though, there's some species which can change their gender, but that's mainly due to exposure to toxic chemicals.
There's a nice Slav comment.
Yeah, so like when Alex Jones is going on about like the chemicals in the water which turn the freaking frogs gay, it turns out that it was actually turning the frogs female or infertile. So he's
Ooh, that's slaughtering
so
the conspiracy.
yeah, he was sort of correct there, but like he was a bit
Yeah,
he was being a bit hyperbolic with it.
of course. But that's again like
that's
derailing it.
kind of news stories in general, though. To be fair,
Yeah.
I remember the days when people used to be quite reasonable and used to tell the truth rather than just making hyperbolic bullshit out of their backsides. But sadly, that's
That
isn't
era
the
is
world
done.
we live in anymore.
No. Anyway, yeah. So, but that's pretty much how that's run, and now we've basically kind of run the gamut here. So, the next item on the agenda is is a kind of an experiment, a university experiment involving some rats. So, here's one for you. These rats learned how to drive tiny little cars so they could eat Fruit Loops. Now, just to
rats are
fill you
smarter
in,
than some humans. Wonderful.
yeah,
I
just
mean,
to fill you in, this is an experiment done by the University of Richmond, and they figured why not, like let's teach rats how to drive.
Hmm. It kind of reminds me the one of those when they did one of those animal experiments between pigeons and humans, like some I don't know high school students versus pigeons, like an intelligence test, and pigeons won. So yeah. But by the way, rats are actually very smart animals. Like, basically, most rodents are actually very smart animals. Like like those pet hamsters and like pet mice and pet rats. They like when you keep them like in cage and stuff. They put the items in like some their order, like their own feng shui.
Mm,
That's my OCD, anyways.
yeah, but yeah, just so you have a bit of a background though. So they did, they decided they built a car, a tiny car out of a food container, fit some, and made a couple of copper bars as a steering wheel, and then if they figured if the rat can learn how to grip the wheels, they can steer the car.
And they can go get food.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fruit Loops, namely. So if this
Yeah,
thing works here,
Yeah, that would be quite a boost for them. I apologize, for, any members in the live comments, but the screen share feature is not functioning
right,
at
because the
optimum for a particular reason.
right, because video playback is at times quite jarring.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, I
hey, Jolt, can you hear Inu on your side?
um, I I think he should still be here. I
I
haven't seen
figured
him.
so. I
Yeah,
can't
he's
hear
fine.
him speak,
Mic check.
and haven't heard him
Okay.
speak on the
I can
podcast.
hear.
Disconnect and reconnect, and then we'll continue on.
Mic
Other
check.
than that, though, I think I should be fine. But so far, the show can continue to proceed. But you know something though, you got. I mean, you guys are quite amazed by the intelligence of rats, right? That people have always been using them to guide in experiments to guide them through like these little mazes where there's a piece of cheese at the end,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
guess this.
rats but are a particular easy animal to train, which, to be honest, is one of the reasons why they use rats in these particular experiments.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. Because why would you use something that's difficult to train or that might have a bias to something?
Yeah.
I mean, mice as well.
And I figure so.
Um,
Mice don't really have that intellectual capability compared to rats. And the funny
Okay,
thing is,
fair
though, rats are more difficult to trap because, once a rat knows that a trap is, in place, they tend to avoid it.
Hmm. Anyway, here's a couple of little live comments too. There's a couple. Rabbit Natsu says, "Dude, we're on our way to making Zootopia real."
It's a good
And
one.
you know what? In many more ways than one, that is shockingly true, especially when you watch the movie and you consider the scale and size of, the rodents, the rats in Zootopia, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's more or less realistically scaled in Zootopia, which I found to be a very interesting thing.
Yeah, the thing is, though, can you just imagine, if they had, a world war, for example? What would the rats be doing? Would they be, deploying mines or, and the such?
Should probably ask Talon because he's into sort of thing.
Yeah, thinking about it, I'm guessing the rodents would be useful for infiltration.
Would
Living
that
up
be
to
like-
this and the common stereotype, are we? The whole,
Oh.
rats are devious.
No, it's
Probably
it's,
also-
it's mainly due to their size.
Fair
It would be
I mean,
easier for
wouldn't it be
animals which are
great
smaller.
having a freaking camera that you could just flip, set down somewhere in the inn, and off it goes into enemy camp or whatever, and you can just
Didn't
kind of
they
get
use-
everything, and the rat knows what to look for because
Didn't they
you trained
use
it.
rodents in World War II or something as to transmit message and stuff?
Pigeons. They use pigeons for that particular reason.
So
No, but
flying rats.
they also used the rodents, like because they would often train rodents to go through like I don't know from one place to another to like transmit a message because pigeons obviously like they could shoot them from the sky, but rodents are.
I think they tried, but it wasn't very effective.
Oh,
Yeah, they've used pigeons to guide missiles in the Second World War.
Also, we tried using bats to, burn down Tokyo.
Didn't work too well because they ended up roosting in the United States instead.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we captured like 8,000 bats. We're going to put micro explosives on them so they all have incendiary devices, and we're just going to drop them in bombs over Tokyo.
Yeah, but the problem is though is that the bats decided to go to the most nearest place to roost. So a few barns in the United States spontaneously combusted for some apparent reason.
Yeah. Proof of concept wasn't exactly the smartest idea we ever had.
Yeah, but the thing is though, Russia developed.
Russia was worse. Hey, let's throw a stake so this dog chases it. The dog's going to be a suicide bomb.
Yeah, the thing is though.
The dog went underneath our tank because that's what we trained it to go under, was green sloped tanks.
Yeah, the thing is though, the reason why they went after Russian tanks was mainly due to the fuel. And Russian tanks used diesel as a fuel, whereas German tanks used petroleum as a fuel.
The difference that makes, huh?
That is the other way around. Regardless.
I mean, still. Besides that, though, here's a fun little live comment about an experiment, though. Ice Kitsune says, I wonder what would happen if you put a soy boy in a maze and let them go through it with the reward of a new Nintendo Switch Lite at the end.
They'd probably try and go through the wall and then tire themselves out.
they get that soy boy reaction, like the open mouth.
At the
one.
very end, they would. Of seeing a Nintendo
And then
Switch.
it's just an empty box.
Yeah, that'd be quite funny. If they get punished for pulling that face. Yeah, if they pull that face, so it's forfeit because they pulled that face.
No one would be able to freaking do it then.
Yeah, the thing is though, I honestly think that's probably the most irritating face a man can pull is the soy face.
Either way, though, you know what? I think they probably need a couple of, bits and bobs as motivation. I mean, if rats can do okay with Fruit Loops, soy boys need, what? Starbucks Ventis.
Yeah, probably a pumpkin spice latte or something.
Chai tea latte.
Soylent.
With soy milk. Has to be soy milk, otherwise I won't touch it.
Well, why is it called Soylent? Because every time I hear Soylent, it always
That's
Makes
the
me-
company.
it makes me think of the movie, Soylent Green.
That's the company's name.
It's Soylent. Legitimately. It's just like, why?
Yes, the Soylent's made out of people, by the way.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's people.
Oh. Other than that, though, if we're gonna do this like that, if we're gonna make the Zootopia thing real, who's gonna be the next master species that's gonna learn how to drive their cars?
I mean, a goldfish already's done this. Like, some teenager made a thing out of.
What's the species? Probably.
Like he put an aquarium on a Lego robot chassis, which is how they do these, and it had a little camera that if the fish went to one corner of the tank, it would drive in that direction, and the fish learned how to drive around.
What?
A
Oh,
goldfish.
actually, I heard about that. Yeah.
That's been a year or so ago, I think. But it's just
Didn't
like, yeah,
Didn't the
mice are
Mythbusters,
stupid compared to a goldfish, apparently.
didn't the Mythbusters also do some kind of experiments with the goldfish, like the goldfish memory thing?
Yeah, and they proved that it's longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah, it is. Their
It's
memory
about 5
is-
minutes, but
Yeah.
you know.
And
I'm-
you asked like which animal would be the next one that will learn how to drive. What about monkeys? I mean,
Oh, dude. I've
Yeah.
seen it all. Like monkeys have learned how to freaking do cigarettes. Like in my freaking motherland of Indonesia.
oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
Guys, monkeys
you would
can
be able
sign
to teach them to
language.
drive.
Yeah,
Monkeys,
gorillas.
monkeys can sign language.
Yeah,
They've
but
learned
it'd be
English.
quite a long, arduous task.
But yeah, they could. I mean, I saw a monkey driving, not driving, like using hands as a paddle when they're on the boat, like because they saw that like humans doing it, so they're like when they get in the boat to cross the river, they use their hands as a paddle.
Yeah,
Like-
that's an orangutan, I think.
Yeah, because orangutan, yeah, he when he watches the humans, he like does what the humans do.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, it's best not to use the video of the chimpanzee wielding the AK-47 as an example
Oh,
because that video is actually fake.
oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually test footage for I think it was Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It was test footage for that movie.
Yeah.
God, like I still remember. Like if we're talking about that sort of stuff, like what monkeys are doing. God, there was an episode in the Yu-Gi-Oh episode where they taught a monkey how to duel.
I mean, yeah, I can see that.
Anything's possible with monkeys, though. But here's an interesting suggestion too. Blue Raptor suggested cheetahs. Dude, they don't need cars when they're going along.
Oh yeah, cheetahs are super fast.
Yeah.
Well, for extremely short periods of time, but yeah.
Yeah, true. But you know, anything's possible though. Maybe one day.
Also ostriches as well.
Yeah, the thing is, though, ostriches are really, really stupid because their
Oh, I'm
brains
scared.
compared to their,
Bam! My head's in the ground. I'm safe.
yes, like the size of their brain compared to their body, it's quite a large ratio. So ostriches aren't really that intelligent.
Yeah, but you know. Oh God. Blades. Nope. You're not gonna beat the freaking master of T-posing. Dude, get on my level. T-pose with a suit on. Yeah. Or I will assert dominance over all of our viewers with a photo of me T-posing in suit.
Yeah, the thing is though, but would you be able to beat me when it comes to T-posing? Because I'll be T-posing with 4 arms rather than 2.
Frick.
So get on my level.
No, but that's what mad science might be just for, you know?
Yeah.
Add some extra arms or something.
Basically.
Or, you know, you T-pose with your wings out.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, so a four-armed with wings would be would win that.
Oh, but don't worry, you'll get to see one soon. Anyway, we're gonna switch tacks to gaming right now. And to start
Gamers
things
rise
off...
up.
Yes, boy! And to start things off, there's been a little bit of a shake-up because your favorite friends at Bethesda have done something stupid again. So to start with some context,
Oh, Todd
Fallout
Howard.
76 get a paid subscription for some reason.
Oh boy.
Hey,
$100.
our game did horrible when we sold it. Let's make it subscription based, so our already dead game just dies completely.
Yeah,
Well-
$100 per year. And by the
Well,
way, it turns out that the features involved
broken.
with this particular, subscription were broken. The private servers weren't private, and the scrap box kept deleting scrap. So the main reason to get this particular subscription doesn't work.
You know what this looks like to me? This
So
looks like
it's just
something
fucking
that's
pointless.
gourmet.
So, honestly, I don't know who in the right mind thought of this idea.
Yeah, it's hey, let's take our garbage game that we removed all the features that everyone really likes, made it multiplayer, and then made it battle royale. And then what else can we do to screw people over? Oh yes, let's charge them money every month.
Honestly, it's like this game is pretty much the gift that keeps on giving.
In terms of giving something to laugh at, yeah.
Yeah, giving something to laugh at. Honestly, the people, the other developers in the industry must be in stitches over the bullshit that Bethesda's pulling. They must be
Remember when pre-order bonus was that bag that turned out to be made
Nylon?
out of cheap nylon? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cheap nylon bag when it was supposed to be a canvas one. And by the way, some editions of that helmet had an issue with mold, rather toxic
Fun
mold.
times.
Well, yeah, if you don't use the right type of molds, like some people found out, with our wonderful fandom, it builds mold very, very quickly because it's in a humid environment. Which, if it's going to be in a humid environment, you need something that's an anti-fungicide
Yeah,
basically built into it.
Yeah, that's why with when I wear my fursuit head, I always wear balaclava.
I always wear a balaclava too. Granted, mine gets very hot, but mine's hard plastic, so
Right.
I don't have to worry
My
really about that.
Yeah,
my one's a bit lined. Yeah.
yeah, but my head is foam, so I would prefer to wear the balaclava in it.
Fair enough.
Never wear
I mean, my
a
head-
cotton balaclava. Cotton balaclava
By
is
the
the
way,
worst.
Jolt, we've got a problem with live comments for some reason.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
live
can't
comments
see them.
just died.
It
Yeah.
has.
I can see
it's
live
not
comments
dead.
perfectly.
Oh shit! I was supposed to show you me basically showing my dominance in that one. Actually, you know what? You get to see it anyway. Only because you know who decided to T-pose on everyone.
So, Todd
Anyway.
Howard, once again, you did it again. And
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait for other Bethesda games. What are the other Bethesda games going to release? The space-based one. It's called Star thing.
There's a new.
Starfield.
Yeah.
Starfield. Yeah.
Now, speaking
Oh,
of
boy, I can't wait.
of this stuff too, what about may I recommend Obsidian's new release, The Outer Worlds, as an alternative if you want to get your Fallout kicks?
Yeah, that game is actually good, by the way. Talking about games recently released, I was trying out a bit of Modern Warfare, but I'm just messing around with the settings to see what works.
One thing though, if you want to buy The Outer World, I suggest you do it through Microsoft's Game Pass, which is like $1 a month or something. You can buy it. I wouldn't recommend supporting Epic Games out of moral reasons because
Fair
they
enough.
have scummy deals. Or if you do want to buy the game though, wait like a year till it gets on Steam because it's like 12-month exclusive.
No,
deal.
it's a 6-month exclusive.
Oh, 6 months. All right. So like in 6 months it'll come on Steam. So by that time you could probably spend like $1 on the Xbox Game Pass to like play it on the Microsoft Store.
Worth it in the end, huh? Maybe not. Anyway, just to get back on track with this whole
Yeah.
Bethesda thing, you guys know like who trolled Bethesda as a reaction, and that this has now become life imitates art.
4chan.
Yes, and you know what
Yeah.
they did?
Like
Made
Bethesda didn't buy the domain for like for Fallout first. So somebody on 4chan decided to buy the domain, and basically they decided to copy and paste what was in the description for Fallout first and fuck around with it.
first
like,
member.
Yeah,
so
like
they
first member fuck.
yeah.
Private world, scrap boxes and more cabin to Fallout
Fallout
76
76
Fallout.
with Fallout.
Fuck you first. That's a good one, actually. That did make me cheer a bit.
Fallout
Like,
first
look.
because fuck you, give us your money.
That's right, and look at it. And he literally says this like he writes a satire in the very sense like, he writes it in such a way that this is literally what everybody's been thinking about. What Bethesda, your subscription plan is stupid, and I'm gonna say it to you like it is.
Also to mention
Ever
that
since Fallout 76 launched, we have constantly done nothing to improve and evolve the experience based on your shitty feedback. That's why we're excited to launch Fallout Fuck You First.
the launch was
A premium ass-pounded membership that offers something dumbass players have been asking since launch. Private worlds for you and select idiot cough friends. So we decided to put it behind a paywall in addition to this huge feature. Fallout Fuck You First includes a host of pointless items and cut bonuses, all of which you find on my foreskin. And the best part, Fallout Fuck You First, is available to screw you right now. God.
Oh yeah, there's also like microtransactions in Fallout 76. Like you pay us $5, you get like 500 atoms or something to buy.
Right? Yeah, like this. The
Welcome
currency,
to gaming
microtransaction fee.
2018, 2019.
150 microtransactions to pad my
That's
bottom
right.
line. It's microtransaction points the atomic shop you want.
And in that sense, though, wow, just the way they freaking write it.
I mean, I don't get I get microtransactions in free-to-play games because you have to they have to earn the money in some way. But this is a game where you paid full price for it, and there's
then you have to play microtransactions along with that. Granted, GTA 5 kind of pioneered that, so everyone else is trying to live up to GTA, and it's just not going to happen because there's not enough fan base.
I think GTA started that. Oh no, do you know who started that actually? EA actually did start that with the ironically they started that when their sports games where they included like those packs and stuff. You basically buy the packs which are like loot boxes which give you like random players and stuff to make your own team. So yeah, that's basically like how they started the entire trend. And then of course GTA started with shark cards and stuff. And I just love how Bethesda is like basically so ignorant of its fan base. They're basically shitting on its on the very people that put the food on their table. Like remember when Skyrim what's that club social club Creative Club. Yeah, remember when that was released? I mean,
Yeah, I
even
remember the
before,
backlash from. I remember the backlash
even
involved that.
before that, they tried to like introduce the paid mods to Steam, and they got like backlash from that. So they decided, no, we're not going to do that ever again. We heard all the backlash and stuff, and like a few years later, they decided to do it again. Like, so
Yeah,
so
the
like
thing is though, does anyone here remember horse armor?
oh yeah, yeah, but the thing is, like those mods on Creative Club, they used to be free, but basically what they did is they copyrighted those mods. So even so now if you try to like, so now Nexus Mods has obviously taken them down because they're copyrighted by Bethesda now, and if you like put them on the Nexus Mods, you get like a copyright strike or something. So basically, Bethesda monetized on the entire mod industry. Yeah,
Uh huh.
it's stupid, and it's the one thing I really hate because Skyrim and what else? And Fallout 4 at the launch were like, they had like numerous bugs and stuff. And what did players do? They did everything to fix those games to make them,
Playable
enjoyable,
at the very least.
playable at the very
Right.
least. And how does Bethesda thank them? Oh, let's monetize based on their success.
Way to steal their money.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd
Mm.
Howard.
It's more or less, how do we get people to continue buying stuff so we can make as much money off as possible out of this crappy piece of garbage that we made? Oh yeah, microtransactions.
Mm.
I have a comment. If you can hear
Okay.
me,
Now you can. Now we can.
it's like gourmet food because you serve half the portion, put less ingredients, and charge twice as much. It becomes gourmet.
Yeah, sorta.
Come on, that's what they're doing with it. They're charging for it, and they're promising you more, but the things aren't
Honestly,
working, and they're
the
not
only
working on fixing it.
game which I'm excited about when it comes to Bethesda is probably Doom Eternal.
Yeah, but Doom Eternal isn't made by Bethesda. It's made by ID. It's only published by Bethesda.
Yeah.
So there's less chance of them screwing around. Though they did publish Wolfenstein Youngblood, and that was
The
one of
thing
the
is
worst.
that wasn't produced by ID software.
Yeah, that
that
was
was-
produced by Machine Games.
Mm.
Though
I
that's
mean,
still
look, look at this
it
either way.
was produced in Kyrgyzstan, so I mean Sweden.
I mean, look at this either way, just to kind of wrap the whole Bethesda thing. Look how much is already bet. Like they can't save the game anymore. They can't save 76.
Yeah, honestly, why are they trying to save it? They should just leave it. I think just leave the thing to die.
dude. Ever since Fallout 3 was released, I think they've been constantly doing this shit where they release like a broken like no not like an unfinished game, but like a game with numerous bugs, and then they just expect like the fans to patch it up. Like Fallout 3, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and then like I think Starfire, and I generally think Starfire is going to be the same thing, like where it's going to be numerous with bugs, and they will expect the players to fix the bug because obviously it's probably going to use Creation Engine. They're like broken ass engine that they haven't fixed it, like still even to this day.
Mm-hmm. But that's
I think they're still jealous over the fact that Fallout New Vegas was not made by them, and it became such a success. Like even though they cut the development time of Fallout New Vegas to to meet its production, to
Yeah.
meet its like release date, But like, just think about it. Like, Fallout New Vegas, which was supposed to be like a spin-off of Fallout 3, turned out to be a huge success, and it wasn't even made by Bethesda. That's probably what made them like so. Right. So yeah, let's make Fallout 4, but you know,
Yeah, I am thinking that
Yeah, it's fine.
the biggest mistake developers are making these days is announcing the release date before the game is even ready. Like, honestly, I think they should wait until the game's gotten
Yeah.
gold,
Too bad they just gotta keep
then
pumping it out, you know.
announce the flipping release date. But the
Yeah,
publishers say no.
well, once you understand, hey, we know when our game is actually going to be able to be done in a reasonable amount of time, and we'll be able to fix all the bugs. Oh yeah, there's all this new thing. Hey, we're going into early access.
you also notice how they always target the similar dates. Like most of the AAA games are released in October, November, along with like February, March type of thing. Like those are the like when the most major AAA titles are being released. And of course, there's always, because they're corporate and they have to appeal to their shareholders and such, they have to like, put it in a like as shorter release date as possible, put day one patches, etc. Like these games rarely are released in like 100%
That's the state
ready
these
state.
days. They gotta rush out to beat the release date, and
They gotta rush out
uh,
and they gotta
yeah,
patch it out and
and
stuff.
day one patches. But that's neither here nor there, though.
Day 1
Still.
patches, day 3 patches, day 5 patches, day 7 patches, and patches for the next 3 months while they include the rest of the content, which they weren't able to include in their initial release because they rushed the game by 6 months.
Okay, yeah. But in that sense, though, well, but I guess that's kind of that for Bethesda, And like I promised you, I mean, yeah, just before I kind of move. You know what? Forget this though. We've got one last item on the docket though.
Yeah, let's just
And
move on.
yeah, like I mean, we've got the Bethesda thing is just that, but the last item is that what? Another gaming item. There's a study that now suggests gaming disorder is not real.
Oh, who would have thought?
Wow, common
Oh, who would
sense.
have thought that something that has nothing to do with actually being a real mental disorder would be, fake?
Right.
It turns out that the reason why people play games a lot is mainly due to as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what though? And in May, at the end of May, at some point, the World Health Organization decided to add gaming disorder to their list of official diseases.
The thing is, though, that's the reason why a lot of psychologists in many nations, including Britain, don't take the World Health Organization seriously.
Is World Health Organization Karen?
Yeah, it is, Karen. It's thinking about it. The UN is basically a whole organization of Karens trying to take over the world.
It's like how I used to like moms used to say like, oh, you like don't play a lot of video games because like you'll fail at school and stuff.
Ah, yeah, your eyes will go square. Oh god, I remember that stupid bullshit. Yeah, like your eyes will gonna flipping physically change shape because you look at the screen too much.
I'm probably the oldest guy here right
the
now.
thing is, though, that's the problem. Is that that's the problem with the world these days. There's too many Karens trying to get involved in your business, and just these Karens need to learn to just leave people alone and just leave people do what they want to do.
I'm probably the oldest guy here right now, but the way I see it, people have lost the
Yeah, but
lost the
everybody
reason to raise their
in
kids
this room
properly,
has
and they
probably
just
dealt
give them.
with a Karen, and probably everyone in the comment
Okay,
section
my
has
mic's not
probably
working.
dealt with a Karen also.
And then eventually there was a study that was also done with this to try and get onto it, to try and see if any of these claims are going to hold up, and nothing really tangible came as a result of it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, because what's basically ended up happening is people have gotten so lazy to the point where they don't even want to raise their own kids. So they're like, "Hey, here's a TV, here's a game console, have fun. I'm gonna go do my things."
Yeah,
And that's where a lot of this comes from.
The problem that's one of the main reasons why psychology isn't considered a hard science, because a lot of the studies are prone to things like confirmation bias. And,
Well, yeah, because
they're
you're
prone
not going to
to-
go into you're basically going to go into people who can afford to actually get your testing done, which are generally going to be better off households and everything else. You're gonna confirm your own statistics based on you're gonna go and pick a random selection of people who can afford your tests, afford going to psychologists, everything else, and you're gonna get a confirmation bias out of that.
Like most people are probably gonna agree, but the reason why we play video games is also due to like escapism, because we like when we come back from work, and like this
You
is why
don't want to deal with real life. You want to
Yeah.
escape.
Yeah, and this is why most like adults like start to play video games like in their 20s and 30s, because when they come back from work and like you want to escape from the bills, from the from all the stuff you have to face, and you want to kind of like get into your own fantasy world and do some things that you either can't do or are too dangerous to do in real life.
Hey, Joel, just want to
Yo.
do a reading of the live comments.
I think there might be quite a few. I mean, I know, when I talked with Inu as well, he's basically, before I do that, he basically kind of brought up too that, that we're basically, a generation that's basically kind of gone and relied on having these video games as our babysitters for children too. But even then, you know what? They actually, in the survey, in the article, they did say, like, they assessed these children and they asked them, what games do you play with? Who do you play with? Do they stream games? And you know what? And even the parents and the caretakers and so on suggested, like, we're also asked, evaluate your child's mental health, emotional health too, and social health. And you know what?
Well, also the thing was the mainly reason why I grew up with playing video games was because I lived in a neighborhood where there were not that many kids. In fact, I think there were only one or two kids around my neighborhood, because most of the neighborhoods were just like people that recent people that moved in and started family and still not yet having kids, or just basically like old people that that their kids were already grown up and stuff. So I didn't have that many kids to play outside. So what I did, I basically stayed at home and played video games with my brother and dad.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, these days our video games are so accessible that they basically give. I've seen basically numerous cases where they give their kids a tablet to playing Minecraft on, because like it's it's cheaper than giving them
A
toys.
babysitter.
Yeah.
And anything else, because babysitters are like $60 a day. Hey, what's cheaper than that? Hey, here's a tablet that has no internet access, doesn't have any of my credit card information on it, and it has games that you want to play.
Yep.
Have fun.
Pretty much.
But yeah, like again, as it says though, nothing really tangible came out of it. They had to, and you know what? So I guess now gaming is fine. It's not a disorder now. Never has, never will be. My dude.
I mean, did they officially remove it, or is it
Gamers
just like,
Rise Up. sorry.
or is it just like the study showing that?
The study just pretty much kind of debunked it, though. It's the World Health Organization. Seriously, no.
Yeah,
I wouldn't-
they're being very unreliable when it comes to psychology, especially. That's one field they've been extremely unreliable in.
That's what we said. Like the basic World Health Organization is Karen.
Yep, they're the Karen of the medical world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
But
Joel.
you know what? Yeah.
You wanna show your T pose and stuff?
Oh! I will. I got a T pose for you. That's why I said I promised you I'd show you guys a T pose, and it's gonna come to you really soon. Only because dude, this happens a lot to me, man. You ask me to T pose, and I will literally jump. There, I have officially asserted dominance over all of you, including our viewers.
That's a nice hotel.
Yeah,
That's quite a nice hotel, actually. Yeah, it's better than
I know
one that you got for.
You know what you need, Jolt? You need like one of those one of those two wheelers that like move on its own. So you'd
a
look like an
Segway.
NPC. Yeah, so you'd look like an NPC that's like when in games that when an NPC T poses and like slides on the ground,
Yeah.
because like instead of a walking animation, you have a T pose animation that's like sliding on. Or,
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's exactly the thing, isn't it? Though? But you'll also get a load of this wayo T posing. Get a load.
Oh, Foxler.
He's got wings, boy.
Dude, he stole my visor.
I
Not really.
don't think anyone got my T poses at MFF or Denter, so I'm mostly safe.
I can't help
Dude.
but notice that naked guy on the left. Or is he naked?
No, he's not naked.
Yeah, he's wearing
Boxers.
trunks. He is
Yeah.
swimming trunks. Wait a minute. What was that? Was that Terry wearing Fox's suit?
You ruined the secret.
That wasn't Foxler all along.
No, we need to duplicate the suit so we can all have our own. All the admins need their body doubles.
Yeah, all the admins have their own Fox's suit. That'd be quite funny, actually.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
Because then it would just blow people's minds. Hey, I'm in the Philippines. Hey, I'm in London. Hey, just all in the same day. He posts all these photos.
Yeah, you can just imagine, if everyone did like a live stream
All at the same time.
Yeah.
And just use recorded bits of Foxler's voice. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Urgent Life Native Rabbit Natsu says Foxler Fest 2020.
Dude, we could make that. We could make like a convention-based.
Actually, you know what?
Foxler Fest
Imagine,
2020.
imagine if you went to a con and you literally decide to trick him by bringing him a cutout.
By the way, is Foxler going to the Midwest Fur Fest?
No. Too bad Beowulf, you kind of it didn't work. The plans didn't fall through. This year did it.
For
Midwest Fur Fest.
Raider. Oh yeah, I just kind of pulled out of that because I don't have enough money saved up for it. So
Yeah, that'd be quite funny. Just having every admin.
I would love to go to MFF because it sounds like it's going to be a complete crap show, but that's not going to happen.
You just imagine every admin, at a Raiders event or a FurCon, just every admin dressed as a Foxler, and just everyone in suit just walks into the hotel.
Mine, you would see like skulls exploding.
Yeah, like no, the thing is, so everyone just walking in like a straight line. That would be good, I think.
Well, a parade of a parade.
Yeah, like everyone just like in a parade, like stands with like drums and like like instruments and everything. That'd be quite funny.
Like,
There's
just
your
like
band.
that
There's
marching.
the band idea. The band idea, all in buxley suits.
Now that's something. Must make that happen one day. One for the wish list.
Yeah, that would be great actually. Yeah, that'd be quite funny.
Oh, cool. So, in that sense, though, this is about the time that we've got for this week. Anything you guys wanted to wrap up with in the closing
Yeah.
comments, like what you think
Yeah.
about our segments, news.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to co-host this episode, and I'm glad that people in the live comment section enjoyed themselves.
Right, so actually, you know what though? Informal survey. How well did Orion fill the role of Orange Doggo Bad?
Orange Doggo Bad.
The thing is, though, I ain't the orange doggo bad. I'm the illegal alien.
I give between 3 and 4 out of 5.
Ah, okay.
God. Oh, by the way, that illegal alien ship might be coming near you soon
Yep.
because my large format printer might just may have roared into action not too long ago. And, some more stickers are gonna come soon.
Awesome.
That's on the pipeline.
Oh,
Yes. Alright, so
oh,
Maligos, actually, got anything to wrap up with?
oh, yeah. Generally, whenever you be careful when you purchase a Bethesda game. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Good rule
Yeah,
of thumb,
because you don't know if you can have a $100 per year subscription.
Or paid mods.
Yeah, it's like,
Anyway,
honestly, like I think Bethesda has literally become a butt of a joke at this point.
Agreed. So, Beowulf, anything to wrap up with?
Things to wrap up with. Nothing has really changed with me. Still trying to figure out what I want to do with my own channel and stuff. Other than that, I don't have anything new and fancy.
And as for us, though, one more live comment. You did decent as an orange doggo stand-in. I'll give you hugs.
Yay. I got many arms to hug you with.
Woo! Nah, anyway, just to close things up, though. As of you guys, thanks once again for listening in. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as we did making it. And as always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more later on down the line. This is us signing off for the week. Farewell, and until next time.
See you.
See ya.
Bye bye.